All right, and before we start setting up JSON web tokens, since we'll do that in the custom instance method, the document custom instance method, why don't we set that one up first? Do a simple console log, and then we will add all the functionality as far as the JSON web tokens are concerned. Again, I left a link here so you can bravely navigate here. You can read that documents are instances of the models, and they do have a bunch of built-in instance methods, meaning in one of the previous videos, I showed you user.save. So that is the built-in one, but we can also add our own custom ones. And the way that looks like, we go with the schema, then methods. So this is a keyword. Make sure that you type it exactly as they show over here, and then the name of the function. So in our case, that is going to be CreateJWT. And then again, what's really cool that in this function, we can access our document using this. So we pass in this, and then we can access whichever property we want. And then we'll call this one actually in the controller, because that's where we create that document, correct? Now keep in mind, we'll set it up in the user model, but we'll call it in the controller. And if you're kind of iffy on this one, don't worry, we'll get there in no time. So the first thing that I want to do is navigate back to my user model. And then since my schema name is user schema, I'm going to go with user schema, then methods, and then create JWT. Again, I'm going to use good old function keyword, and I'm going to go with console log and this. And then in a register controller, right after we create the user, let's invoke it. Let's just see what do we have here in the console. And yes, in between the videos, again, I removed my good old John from the database, so I don't have to worry about that in the Postman. So back in the user one, let's just set it up right after the pre-save hook, where we're going to go with user schema dot then methods, and then we're going to go with create JWT. So this is a function name. You can call this vegan food truck. Doesn't really matter. And in my case, I'm going to go with function, and we'll set it up. And in function body, like I said, for time being, let's simply go with log and this, because I want to showcase that we can always access our document. And then in the auth controller, like I said, once we create the user, before we send it back, let's go here and let's say user, and now we have that custom instance method. So I can go with create JWT, so I can invoke it. And now I just need to navigate back to my Postman, and in here, let's send it one more time. And this value is going to be exactly the same. What I'm interested is my console. And in here, I can nicely see that I access all the values. And we'll use this when we're setting up JWT, because we'll have to grab some values from our document and pass it into JWT.